Hi, my name is Sarah Lemos, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the environment, its issues in Texas and in the world, and public opinion regarding them. So I'm going to focus on climate change, what that is, and how it affects Texas. Climate change refers to shifts in temperature and weather patterns over time. Global warming, which falls under this category, refers to the temperature increase specifically, which is believed to be caused by greenhouse gases. According to NASA, 97% of actively publishing climate scientists today agree that human activity is causing global warming and climate change. While some corporations whose profits may be affected by controls on greenhouse gas emission and fossil fuels have claimed the science is uncertain, scientists themselves do not. As I stated, those corporations are of course motivated to question the science because they aren't willing to lose profit, these corporations being mainly oil and gas and agriculture. Texas alone contributes 42% of the nation's crude oil and has led the country since the 70s. Agriculture in Texas is also integral to our economy and culture. But as climate patterns change, our plains turn to deserts, and the summers are only getting hotter. So let's take a closer look into how Texas is being affected. These graphs from the Federal Climate Assessment show the numerical changes in our environment. The first one on the left shows that as time passes, Texas is receiving less and less rain, which requires more irrigation for our crops, which slowly reduces soil fertility and causes desertification. And when the land turns into desert, we can no longer grow crops or raise animals on it at all. The middle graph is a figure showing the uncomfortable increase in warm nights in Texas, with even the northernmost part of the state increasing by about 20 days. As we can see, the increase in temperature has a relation to the amount of greenhouse gas emissions. The last graph shows an increase in the number of dry days, which will of course have an effect on our agriculture. As we all know, Texas is a Republican state, focused on business and oftentimes showing an unwillingness to stray from traditional values. So since agriculture, oil, and gas have been such an important aspect of our culture, it may be harder for a large part of our population to care about climate change. A poll taken by the University of Texas showed that Republicans are less likely to believe in climate change, and that Republicans are less likely to believe anything should be done regarding climate change. So what is the solution? There are two things that make finding the solution so complicated: people and money. Individually, we as people can combat climate change by boycotting harmful products and companies, recycling, educating those around us, and speaking out. But at the same time, not everyone can afford to boycott, and not everyone receives fair education that can put them in a position to believe in science or to speak on it. Another issue that may arise is the fact that many Republicans follow traditional values in Christianity, which often causes them to take an anthropogenic point of view, or a point of view of the world that focuses more on the well-being and interests of humans solely. As for the profit section, many Texans and even people from around the country rely on the coal, oil, and agriculture industries for energy and jobs. Though all of these things are either directly or indirectly damaging the earth, simply getting rid of them would plummet the economy, affect energy availability, and access to jobs. So although you might believe that immigration is negatively impacting the state, or that expensive healthcare is costing lives, or political corruption is breeding hatred that causes gun violence, police violence, inequality in the workforce and education, and so much more, but the only reason any of these things even have the capacity to exist is because of the fact that we are conscious beings who are lucky enough to exist by whatever means we do on this planet. And though all the things I just listed are important, cause pain, and do need reform, we will never even have the chance to do that or thrive as a society if we deplete the resources of and permanently damage the planet we live on. I believe that if new data was found disproving climate change, the issue wouldn't be so pressing, but sadly it doesn't seem that will happen. So for now, the best thing we can do is give up the things we can, reuse the things we can, and speak out as much as possible. Making the small changes can have a big effect, and learning as much as possible about the environment will only open gateways to save it. Climate change isn't just the most pressing issue for Texas, but for all of humanity.